who will explore the final frontier and who won't. Just as one big-name actor beams out of the Star Trek sequel, another beams on board. NASA has found a new planet that could be a twin of Earth. Is that an evil twin? Does that mean they've got an evil version of Slice there? What's the planet equivalent of a goatee? All that, plus we'll find out how to survive living in a genre universe. Nigel checks in from the multiverse, and we've got a great interview you will not want to miss. It's the holiday season, but we're giving all the gifts to you on this installment of Slice.
Covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe.
Warning, effects of time shifting may occur.
This is Dr. Michio Kaku.
I'm Peter Mayhew.
This is Trisha Helfer, number 6 from Battlestar Galactica.
Hi, this is Colin Ferguson, the Sci-Fi Channel's Slice of Sci-Fi.
SliceofSciFi.com.
Hey, welcome everyone. After a bunch of technical difficulties, we are back. I'm Michael R. Menenge.
I'm Brian Brown.
I'm Sam Roberts.
I'm Tim Adamick.
I'm Brett Philippek.
And
we have...
Good evening, friends. Geoff Notkin from Meteorite Men on Science Channel. Very happy to be back.
Yay!
Very happy to have you here.
Thanks.
All right, enough mutual admiration. Let's get down to business.
And now, the news.
Well, before we have the news, folks, I want to talk about really fast. We have a couple of great contests you want to miss.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One is for a prize pack from BBC America that includes the latest DVD release of Doctor Who, as well as a Dalek pin, a Matt Smith costume T-shirt, also a DV set of The Hour, and BBC America's Holiday DVD, folks. It's an awesome prize pack.
I've never been more bitter that I can't enter this thing.
We're giving away a copy of the new Spider-Man original app as well. So you want details, surf on over to SliceOfSciFi.com and enter. The contest rules are over there as well. But hey, let's get to news. Sam, hit it up.
Last week, scientists with NASA reported that they've found a new planet similar to ours outside of our solar system. Discovered by NASA's Kepler Planet Hunting Telescope, the planet orbits a star similar to our sun, has a temperature averaging a balmy 72 degrees, and likely has land and water. This is the first time Kepler confirmed a planet outside our solar system in the not too hot, not too cold, habitable Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
Twice before, astronomers have announced a planet found in that zone, but neither was as promising. One was later disputed. The other is on the hot edge of the zone.
That's pretty cool,
That's
actually.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's large, too, right? It's like 2.4 times bigger than Earth. So,
So we'd be really heavy there.
well,
We'd all have to go on diets.
that's larger, not necessarily more massive.
yes, that's true.
Oh, okay.
I bet your land developers are already going, how can I stake a claim on that planet? Make a really nice shopping mall right there.
Menenge's already got his deed of land
deed
there.
of land.
Right?
I
Where's
do.
the moon guy in all this?
I do. I'm all about that.
Tell you what, man, we're to pack up our rocket wagons and head west.
Yeehaw!
Or north, or wherever it is.
That direction.
So if you're jonesing for more Smallville, what? I guess there are people out there that might be that.
I am so jonesing for Smallville.
Well, we have some good news for you, Tim, as a matter of fact. The long-running series will continue on the printed page. Bleeding Cool reports that Brian Q. Miller is working on a prose book which picks up after the events of the show's final seasons. Hey, isn't DC already doing that? Wait a minute, it's called Superman Comic Books, folks.
Yes.
Oh, wait, never mind.
So my question is since it sucked so bad when it was free on television, why would I pay for it?
Well, and it's yeah, good question. This is a novel. So the novel could be the first of several, of course, to form the 11th series in novel form.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, so happy about
goody.
Yeah, exactly.
Chris Columbus's 1492 Pictures has acquired film rights to How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe, the debut novel from writer Charles Yu. The novel centers on a time travel machine repairman, also named Charles Yu, who has spent the last 10 years traveling back and forth in time in search of his father who has disappeared.
I hate it when my father disappears in time.
exactly.
It
The
sucks.
paradoxes are just mind-boggling.
Well, it's actually just
He
split
actually finds out he
timeline.
is his own father somehow.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
Wow.
When the fictional Yu falls into a time loop, he must find a way to change the future. How to Live Safely, which was released in September of 2010, was named one of the top 10 fiction books of 2010 and was listed in the New York Times 100 Notable Books of 2010, among other honors. So it may actually be good.
1.21 gigawatts.
That sounds really good, actually.
I need to read it. I don't think I have read
Fascinating.
it.
No,
so.
me either.
Just another day for time machine repairman.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, they're not like the Maytag repairman. They
No.
actually go out and do stuff, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh man, dangerous job.
What's that toolbox look like?
It'd be really good because you could go to work and then put yourself in the time machine and immediately go to the end of work
And clock
then go.
out.
Yeah, I
Right?
worked a whole day, but in a
Really,
second.
I did. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fantastic for that.
I don't
Plus,
know.
if you blow somebody's time machine up, you can always go back and fix it again.
If you have another time machine.
That's true.
How is he going to get there?
I don't know.
Well, how do we know it's really
I'm gonna
not
have to
in the
read the
same
book.
universe? It's not just an alternate timeline that's been created, Tim.
I already have a headache.
I know. All right, here's something that'll give you a little bit of more headache. So, Cowboys and Aliens keeps creating headaches for Universal and DreamWorks.
Bummer.
The high-budget
I know.
film flopped the box office, and it just as the extended cut arrives on Blu-ray and DVD, the Hollywood Reporter indicates that comic book writer Stephen John Busty has filed a suit in U.S. District Court in Texas over the film.
Really?
Now, Busty says he published a preview of the story in 1994 and followed it with the actual Cowboys and Aliens in January of 95 issue of Bizarre Fantasy #1, but he didn't register them with the Copyright Office until September of 2011.
Yeah, so what? It's not necessary on current copyright law.
He alleges that in 1997, Rosenberg and Platinum produced the one-sheet featuring the cowboy being chased by an alien, a promotional effort that led to Universal and DreamWorks and Platinum producing a graphic novel series in 2006 that looked a lot like his work.
Interesting.
I just saw Cowboys and Aliens too. And
Did you like it?
I really actually liked
It's
it.
a great cowboy movie. It's
I
a so-so aliens movie.
Yeah, it's a good character-driven movie. I
Yes.
liked all the characters in
Harrison
there.
Ford, Daniel Craig.
The science fiction elements were just kind of a backdrop of it that made it very interesting for the characters. So.
Yes.
And how can you not like Craig and Harrison together?
Oh,
I think that's
absolutely.
great. I mean,
That
what-
was
what-
good casting.
It was probably one of the best team-ups since the third Indiana Jones movie, I think.
Another good
yeah,
casting.
okay.
Yes.
Do we have time for one more?
Yes.
Okay.
Actor Benicio del Toro will not be boldly going on in the next big screen
Thank
trek.
the great maker.
According to Vulture, del Toro has left the project in a dispute over salary.
Wow.
Okay.
But beaming up to the project is actor Peter Weller. That's so awesome.
That could be interesting.
Yeah. Weller's role has not been disclosed yet, but he does have experience in the Trek universe.
does.
You may recall Weller was a guest in the final season of Enterprise, and no, we have no idea whether Khan is the villain for the next movie as of this report. Indications of whether that is happening or not change like practically
Regularly,
hourly.
yes.
The only
So-
way they can bring Khan back in this is if they bring back Ricardo Montalban.
Right? I just think
Agreed.
you
Yes.
have to leave that alone.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't touch.
I agree.
So RoboCop and the Enterprise.
That's awesome.
pretty much.
Citizen, there's going to be trouble.
Never allow. They're
right.
coming with me, Kirk.
All right. So
Let's do some other news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Good evening. I'm Lance Neutron. Pardon the construction, but I know you'll be happy to hear that the FDL News will be expanding in many ways. Hey, be careful with that box. Can't you see it says biohazard? Biohazard? Did I say biohazard? I meant it's fragile. Now the doctors have said I can't go back to being a full-time news anchor until my concussion fully heals. But you know doctors, the rainbows coming out of their necks dance like sideways lobster pincushions. I better sit down. Well, the really big news is that I'm starting a new company called Neutron Media. And to give you a hint of what's in store, here's a sneak peek of a new show coming up on my own TV channel. Enjoy.
This winter on the LW Network. Chris K isn't like other high school kids.
You've got a gift, son. Why, you can tell if a person is naughty or nice just by looking at them.
I never asked for this.
Chris, you're an hour late for our date. Where have you been?
I'm sorry, Eve.
Are those cookie crumbs? Have you been eating someone else's cookies?
Hey, turn up that TV, would you?
It's a jolly day here at the orphanage after what can only be described as a red and white blur appeared, leaving toys for all the children.
What are you?
You have a destiny. You are the chosen one. In Elvish, your name is Santa Claus.
I never asked for this.
Are you growing a beard? In white.
Eve, there's something I need to tell you. I wasn't born in Snowville, and Sam Kringle isn't my real father. When I was a baby, he found me during an expedition to the North Pole.
You mean you're... Hey, is that an elf?
Chris, the Frost Corporation is stealing all the electricity for the Christmas lights.
Not if I can help it. Ready the reindeer.
Yes, sir.
Eve, I know Jack Frost is getting out of control, and I'm sent.
Go get Jolly on his ass.
I never asked for this.
Don't miss Snowville to see if Chris and Eve will jingle all the way.
Come ride on a sleigh with me. Jingle, jingle all the way.
Dragon Moon Press, bringing you some of the most exciting new authors in sci-fi and fantasy. Their titles open new worlds and bring unforgettable characters to readers just like you. Bring the magic and wonder of dragons to your child with Dragon's Fire, Wizard's Flame by Michael R. Menengay. Write your own story with a complete guide to writing fantasy. Books by Dragon Moon Press, sci-fi, fantasy, and beyond. Order these titles from your local retailer or visit the website at dragonmoonpress.com.
And welcome back to more of Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm Michael R. Menengay.
I'm Brian Brown.
I'm Sam Roberts.
And today, folks, we have in studio special guest, Mr. Geoffrey Notkin.
Mm-hmm.
But on the phone, we have his partner in crime, Steve Arnold, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about Meteorite Men. Gentlemen, welcome again.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back. Are you tired of having me? This is my 4th time on the show.
You have been here a while.
Steve has been here 4 times as well. Is that right, Steve?
In spirit.
I think I've only been
3.
there 3 other times. Yeah, right. So Jeff's a little closer. He can hop in the car and buzz up the highway. It's a little bit of a trip for me.
That's okay. Someday, Steve, someday we will. Oh,
that's right.
But let's talk about, because the new season of Meteorite Men is coming really soon, right?
It's already started.
It's already started. So that's right. That's right. At this point, it's already started. So tell us. Why don't we have Steve talk first, because we know Geoff will talk no matter what.
Thanks.
So, Steve, tell us a little bit about what you guys did this season. You guys can trade off, of course. We know that.
Well, we took off to fun and exciting places around the globe that just so happen to have meteorites nearby, and on the quest to find some of these, dig some of them up, and bring the viewers along with us.
Okay, so where did you guys go, Geoff? Can you tell?
Yeah, we can tell you some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I should say that we're 2 episodes into the 8-episode run of our 3rd season, and we've already seen the first Polish episode, followed by Sweden, and coming up Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern on Science, we return to one of our favorite countries, Canada, our good neighbor to the north, where we had a fantastic adventure. And then there's Russia, and there's more Poland. We did Poland in stereo.
Oh, okay.
And then we're back to the States for 3 domestic adventures. So quite a range, actually, this year. A lot of mileage. A lot of funny accents, if you can imagine.
That is pretty cool. So, success-wise, can you talk about how well you guys did?
You mean in terms of getting back alive?
Well,
that too, but how about the fines?
Fines, specifically, though.
Well, we found quite a few meteorites. Some teeny ones, some quite big ones. We
had a lot. We had a lot of fun. We found some meteorites where we didn't think we would, and we didn't find somewhere we thought they would. So it made for interesting making the shows. And, of course, it's always exciting, even for us, because we don't get to see the final production until it comes on the air. So a lot of things Geoff will say away from me, and I don't hear him, and there's things I say and that he doesn't hear, and then they put them together, and sometimes it's actually a little bit funny. So one thing this year that we did find a little bit more than in were other people. We've had quite a few people, and for your fans that are following us right now, if they've watched the first 2 episodes, those are probably the 2 episodes where it's mostly Geoff and me alone. I mean, we had some help in Morasco with the Polish digging team, but we bring in quite a few other people on some of our other ones. So it gets to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more of a team thing than just the Jeff and Steve show.
Well, it's an interesting point that you bring up there. And in reality shows, the primary dynamic that we see across the board is that it's a lot less about the things that you're doing and more about the people involved. So talk a little bit about some of the characters that you ran across, because a lot of what's interesting to watch in these shows is your dynamic and the people you run across. I go back to and the guy that you inspired to become a meteorite hunter, that was a great story. And these stories are what make us all want to go, I want to be out there with you guys.
Oh, thanks. We had a fantastic moment in Russia. Well, we had a lot of fantastic moments in Russia, but the thing that springs to mind regarding unusual characters is we had this tremendously long drive to get to the town where we were staying near the hunt site, and we were nearly in 3 car accidents on the way. And the guys there, I love Russia. I'm half Russian blood, but the drivers are a little on the aggressive side, and our driver was kind of overtaking trucks and around blind corners and then almost fell asleep at the wheel. Anyway, when we finally got to the little town, I think our nerves were a bit frayed, and Steve goes, I could really use a drink. And so we're parked in this little parking lot in front of this little hotel in the middle of nowhere, and we take a bottle of vodka out, we pour some in paper cups, and we're standing there drinking. And this policeman rushes up to us, and he was a little man, and he looked almost exactly like Benny Hill. And his uniform was really ill-fitting, and his cap was on crooked, and he kind of staggers up to us with this big smile on his face and salutes us, and then starts yelling at us. And I speak some Russian, but not enough to understand, so we went and got the translator. The translator came down, they had a brief exchange, and then the translator turns around, he gets very stern, and he goes, oh, look, you're very bad. You can't drink in public. And I just started laughing. I go, no, but really, what's the policeman upset about? And he goes, no, you're drinking vodka in the street. You can't do it. And I go, we're getting told off for drinking vodka on the street in Russia? Everybody drinks here. Are you kidding me? But it's the only time in my life I've ever been saluted by a policeman.
That's pretty impressive, actually. They're very gentle and kind about it. I tell you, this is kind of cool.
Wow. I don't know what to say about that. It's like, yeah, here you are. Yeah, just move along is what he's basically telling you guys.
I think he wanted to drink. I think maybe if you'd shared, then you wouldn't have had that problem.
We share. We play quite well with others on at least 2 or 3 days a week.
So, Steve, what was the best thing that happened in this season? Can you give us a little, at least, teaser of it?
Well, each episode it really had its unique and special moments. And this is something I guess I'll throw out, and viewers on television, hopefully they'll appreciate it, but maybe your listeners are the only ones who will realize maybe why they're appreciating it. Our director of photography this year was Per Larson, and he was with The Amazing Race for their first 10 years, Emmy Award-winning cameraman and director of photography. And they brought him in especially to just pick up more of the scenery, more of the feel of where we're at. And we've already seen that quite evident in the first 2 episodes, and excited to see what he's able to capture. And so I think just having someone there, and it's not that we're really directed, although sometimes they have to say, stop, let us get the camera around in front or whatever, but just knowing that more of the feel of where we're at is going to be preserved and captured on film. And the rocks are there. We find a few here. We find a few there. The stories are interesting. The backstory on each individual location is quite fascinating. And it was a lot of fun. It wore on a little longer this year. So we got a little bit more tired at the end. But we were giving our all to produce what we could, and now we all get to watch it. See what happens. If you find anything, I can hardly wait.
And we went to Europe, Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, Russia. We filmed 4 episodes back to back without a break, which we've never done before. It was 5 weeks on the road. And Steve, I think, what did we have? We had 2 half days off in the 5 weeks. And
I think they.
Yeah, that doesn't really work, especially when you're being yelled at by a flight attendant. But
yeah, you and Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed by that story. And it's really true what Steve says about Per Larson was a fantastic guy, and he's literally been everywhere. Travel a lot, and we go, "Oh, Per, are you excited about going to Moscow?" And he goes, No, I was just in Moscow 2 months ago. And, well, what about this place in Sweden? And no, I was born in Sweden, actually. And it just kept on going like that. And then finally we got to this little town in Poland, and we go, "Per, have you ever been here?" And he goes, "No, actually, I've never been to this town." And so there was then much rejoicing. Yay! So finally found a town that Per hadn't been to. He's an amazing guy, really seen the world, and I think he brought a visual wonder to the new episodes.
Wow. Very cool. That is very cool. Well, guys, unfortunately, we're running out of time, but we wanted to pimp where people can find the Meteorite Men. Of course, you can find you on the web and Facebook, of course. But when is the show showing right now?
It's Monday nights, first run episodes, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Science Channel and Science HD.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah,
Where else can they
HD.
find you out real fast, too?
We're very active on Facebook and Twitter. We're facebook.com/Meteorite Men and twitter.com/Meteorite Men. And Steve and I each have our own companies. Steve, talk about your website for a minute.
It's a little lacking, but it's ArnoldMeteorites.com, and I've got a lot of my meteorites up on eBay right now. Just practically easier to load them up and take them down because they're selling pretty quickly this time of year. And of course, MeteoriteMen.com is one that is kind of a hub for us. If anyone wants to get to the TV schedules or to see photos or get the meteorites, MeteoriteMen.com is probably the best place for anyone to go.
Yeah, we're only a couple of people short from 5,000 friends on Facebook, actually. Like
Ooh,
4
nice.
people or 5 people. So, maybe you can help us get to 5,000 tonight. That would make me very happy.
Give something
Have a big
away.
smile.
Yeah, there you go.
If they're a list, they join and they're the 5,000th one. Let's give them a t-shirt.
That's a super idea.
There you go,
That sounds
folks.
fantastic.
All right. And, of course, Jeff, Aerolite Meteorites?
It is indeed aerolite.org. Come look at space rocks with me.
Yes.
Well, gents, thanks very much for talking with us again. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Alien detected in Sector 5.
Hey, Slicers, Sean Members with more
News from Flight Test Land.
the I've Been Up All Night edition. Sorry we haven't had too many updates the last few weeks, but Flight Test Land was a little slow over the Thanksgiving holiday. However, that ramped up now thanks to the F-35C. The F-35C is the naval variant of the F-35 Joint Lightning II. This is the one with the larger wing and with the arresting gear for it to land and take off from a carrier. The F-35C completed its 100th flight test this week and also took off for the first time using the EMALS. This is the electromagnetic aircraft launching system that will replace the traditional steam catapults on naval aircraft carriers. First to be installed on the Gerald Ford. So one more step closer and a little bit more of the future of science fiction becoming science fact.
Which means the catapult's going to fall down the stairs, right?
Exactly. That's cool as hell, though.
Isn't it, though? Isn't that cool? I mean, we got a mag drive, a first mass driver kind of thing.
It's a mag drive on a metal ship. This ought to end well.
It's going to be great.
Well, the first place that something like that was really debuted was Superman the Ride over in
I remember
Six
that.
Flags.
Six Flags. I've been on that. Yeah.
Yeah, according to a couple of the pilots I've talked to, that's the closest they can get to a carrier deck launch on land.
Wow. Very cool. Well, there you go. So that's
Impressive.
going to wrap it up for the show for the rest of this year,
Yeah,
folks.
that's our last official regular format
this
show.
This is it. So from now on, it's just going to kind of be, we might have a few
Couple of interesting
We'll have other
for
cool
you.
nuggets, yeah,
But as far as news is concerned in our regular get-togethers and stuff, this will do it. But there's still stuff out there. Just keep paying attention because,
Yeah, we're going to put some other things
got all
out.
kinds
So,
of
yeah, I mean, we're going to keep you entertained during the holidays.
Absolutely.
I mean, and with newer content. It's not going to all be reruns like we have been running in the past, I believe.
Now, for the XM listeners, you guys are going to pick this up.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
And it'll show up on there, and lots of fun
And as
stuff.
always, thanks so much, Jeff, for being
Absolutely.
here. We love it when you
Yay.
come up. It's so much fun.
I love being here. Are you kidding?
Well, he's
like,
I'll get back with my science fiction friends.
There you go.
I don't have to talk about rocks the whole time.
There
We
you
can
go.
talk about robots and spaceships.
True.
Absolutely. Well, have happy holidays, folks.
See you next year.
See you next year. Enjoy.